we are going to be comparing Mortal Kombat X on the PS4 and the Potato Masher. In case you don't know, the Potato Masher is a $350 gaming PC custom built in December of 2014 and designed to compete against the PlayStation 4 for the duration of its life cycle. The goal is not to pick on the PlayStation 4 or somehow prove that the PC is better, it's to show that you can get a comparable or better gaming experience for about the same amount of money. If you want more information about the Potato Masher, there are links to the original build video and the specs of the computer in the description of this video, as well as a high quality source download for this video if you want to pixel peep. For now, let's get to it. Well, hang on, because this might be one of the quickest Potato Masher videos I've ever done. It should be noted starting out that I really suck at Mortal Kombat. I don't play a lot of fighting games, and when I did, it was usually Tekken and Virtua Fighter, so you'll notice that I am extremely unskilled at this. Anyway, moving on. There isn't a lot to talk about with the graphics of Mortal Kombat X, at least comparing the two different versions. Honestly, I could probably just take off the PS4 and PC tags, and unless you saw the frame rate counter in the upper left hand corner, you probably wouldn't be able to tell which version was which. The game has to run at 60 FPS because it's a fighting game, so that's just about it. There are very few graphics options to adjust. You can adjust shadows and textures. The only anti-aliasing option is FXAA, and it doesn't work very well. And in the advanced graphics options, you can disable or enable things like bloom or depth of field, but they don't really impact the visuals that much, and they don't impact the performance in any discernible manner. Normally I would have all kinds of fancy comparisons and zoomed in shots showing you which version was slightly better, but really the game looks perfectly fine on either system. Neither one has a huge advantage, but if you absolutely must see which one is better, here you go. Okay, so the PC version has a tiny bit more detail for sure. As to which one actually looks better, I don't know, decide for yourself. Remember how I said that because it was a fighting game, Mortal Kombat X needs to run at 60 FPS? Well, that's because the timing is so incredibly important. The moves are calculated based on the expected FPS you're going to be experiencing, and if the frame rate's off, your entire fighting style could be off, especially in a game where the difference between 50 to 75 milliseconds could be the difference between life and death. The frame rate's kind of a big deal, and naturally you'd think, well, that's where the PC will of course have an advantage. It's a PC, it has all the extra power. Well, this PC port of Mortal Kombat X is horrendous. Here is the game running at 60 FPS on high settings. The only thing that's really turned down is the shadows are turned down to high. And look, it's running at a very stable 60 FPS. Although over here it's running at a very hitchy, stuttery 30 to 45 to maybe 55 FPS. So you think, okay, well, let's just turn the settings down, right? We can get a stable frame rate if we just turn them down. Well, here's the game running on its absolute lowest settings, and the frame rate is also not stable. And here's the game running on its lowest settings, and the frame rate is stable. There's no rhyme or reason. You can just restart a match, and maybe it'll be 30 to 45 FPS, or maybe it'll be a locked 60 the entire time. There's absolutely nothing you can do as a consumer to make your gaming experience better. It's luck of the draw. Now, I understand that this may work better or worse on different combinations of hardware, so it's possible that not everyone is experiencing the same thing we are experiencing with the Potato Masher, but the problem is very real, and a quick Google search uncovers plenty of other people who have the same exact frustration. It's compounded by the fact that we're not allowed to change many of the graphical settings, so we can't dial the experience in just the way we want it. On the consoles, the game does run at a pretty locked 60 FPS the entire time, although on both platforms it drops to 30 FPS for fatalities and cutscenes, which honestly doesn't really make any sense because there's no 30 FPS platform that's being released on. Overall, the frame rate is a giant train wreck on the PC, and that's the primary reason I would say you should probably not pick this game up. But yeah, let's talk about that in the conclusions. Will the game run at 1440p? Yes. Will it do it at 60 FPS? I don't think so, but I can't tell you why. Because if the game can't hit 60 FPS, it very quickly V-syncs at around 30 FPS. I can't tell you if the game is running at 55 FPS and we're very close, or if it's running at 34. And of course, as I've mentioned quite a few times already, there aren't really any graphics options I can change to increase our odds of getting to run it. And just in case you were wondering, 4K is really not a good idea for this game. As much as I'd like to find some sort of positive to end this review on, I really can't for this game. Now, if you really like the Mortal Kombat series, I'm not picking on the game at all. It's probably a really good entry into the series, but you should be playing it on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. Now, some people might think, does this mean the Potato Masher has officially lost its first comparison? Personally, I don't think so, but I wouldn't blame you if you thought that. I don't think the Potato Masher lost. I think the entire PC platform lost this one. This port is an absolute joke. I'm not picking on the developers. They made a decent game, it seems, but they did a pretty piss poor job of making it run on this platform. So if you can run this game on PC, good on you, but Potato Masher certainly can't, and plenty of people on the internet certainly can't. So don't buy this on the PC. As always, if you have any questions about the Potato Masher, you can check out our FAQ video, or you can look in the description for links to the original build video, or for information about the specs that went into the Potato Masher itself. If you have any further questions about this video, feel free to leave a comment or email casualshenanigans@gmail.com. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a good day.